Look at this ocean of air. Nearly 4/5 of it is nitrogen gas, yet it seems to do nothing. Why is it so stubbornly unreactive? Let's uncover the secret locked inside its molecules. Two nitrogen atoms clutch each other with not one, not two, but three covalent bonds, a triple bond. It's one of the strongest chemical handshakes in nature, a lock that resists nearly all keys. Imagine a bank vault with 3-foot-thick bolts. That's the triple bond. Ordinary collisions can't open it. So how does nature ever manage to break nitrogen open? Enter nature's plasma cutter, lightning. A bolt can heat air to collapse into energy needed to snap those triple bonds and set nitrogen free to react. That freed nitrogen doesn't stay single for long. It collides with oxygen, creating nitrogen monoxide, NO, a colorless reactive gas. The unreactive blanket has just been punctured. In the atmosphere, NO quickly oxidizes further to nitrogen dioxide, NO2, the reddish-brown gas. This is the same compound that gives urban smog its dirty tinge, but here it's born of lightning. NO2 dissolves in cloud water and reacts with more oxygen to form dilute nitric acid, HNO3. This acid rain, natural and mild, washes nitrates into the soil, feeding the forest. Plants absorb those nitrate ions to build proteins, so lightning, literally, feeds the world. But humans too learn to break nitrogen's triple bond, with huge consequences. Humanity cracked nitrogen's code with the Haber process, forcing N2 to react with hydrogen to make ammonia on a colossal scale. This invention feeds billions and pollutes the planet. These ammonium salts dissolve easily in soil water, giving plants an instant nitrogen feast. But what if rain washes them away before crops can use them? That's where trouble begins. Excess nitrates fuel an explosion of algae. When they die, decomposing bacteria use up all the oxygen, suffocating fish and turning vibrant rivers into dead zones. Nitrate pollution isn't just an ecological problem, it can contaminate drinking water, posing health risks. Balancing fertilizer use is a delicate tightrope walk. Meet ammonia, NH3, a pungent, colorless gas that turns damp red litmus paper blue. It's the only common alkaline gas. How does it manage to be a base? The answer lies in a lone pair. Look at this ammonia molecule. Notice the magenta cloud? That's a lone pair of electrons, poised like a gift waiting to be given. This is the very reason ammonia acts as a base. In water, ammonia plucks a hydrogen ion from a water molecule. The lone pair forms a bond with a proton, creating ammonium, NH4+, and leaving behind hydroxide ions. That's the source of alkalinity. Only a tiny fraction of ammonia molecules accept a proton at any moment. That equilibrium lies mainly on the left, so ammonia solution is a weak base, not a strong one like sodium hydroxide. Add an acid, and suddenly the game changes. Abundant protons force the equilibrium over. Almost all ammonia molecules become ammonium ions. The solution becomes a mixture of ammonium salt and water. In the solid salt, the ammonium ion forms a perfect tetrahedron. The positive charge isn't stuck on one atom, it spreads evenly over the whole ion, making all four bonds identical. Notice the shape change. Ammonia's lone pair repels bonds, squeezing them to 107 degrees. But when that lone pair grabs a proton, repulsion equalizes, and we get a perfect 109.5 degree tetrahedron. When we heat an ammonium salt with a strong base, a beautiful transformation occurs. The base yanks the proton back from ammonium, liberating ammonia gas, and the red litmus confirms it by turning blue. It's a classic acid-base duel. The ammonium ion donates a proton to the hydroxide ion. Ammonium is the acid, hydroxide the base. The products? Ammonia gas, water, and a salt. From farm fertilizers to cleaning products, ammonium salts are everywhere. The same acid-base chemistry that frees ammonia gas in the lab also underpins their manufacture and use. Now shift to a car engine. The extreme heat and pressure inside the cylinders act like tiny thunderstorms, breaking nitrogen's triple bond and blasting NO and NO2 out through the exhaust. Nature makes nitrogen oxides in storms. Humans make them in engines. Both processes crack the same unbreakable triple bond, but our urban canyons concentrate those oxides to dangerous levels. Enter the catalytic converter. Hot exhaust flows through a ceramic honeycomb coated with precious metals. Here, deadly NO is reduced to harmless nitrogen gas, while carbon monoxide oxidizes to CO2. Sometimes traffic fumes don't just disperse, they cook in sunlight and transform into a toxic soup called photochemical smog. This isn't just smoke and fog, it's a chemical reactor in the sky. Sunlight breaks apart nitrogen dioxide. The liberated oxygen atom attacks O2, making ground-level ozone, a fierce respiratory irritant and a key ingredient in smog. Add unburnt fuel vapors, VOCs, into this sunlight-driven mix, and they combine to form peroxyacetyl nitrate, PAN. It's a potent eye irritant and damages lungs and crops. Imagine rain that slowly kills the life it touches. That's acid rain. Two gases are to blame, sulfur dioxide from industry and nitrogen dioxide from vehicles. Together, they turn rain into a mild acid bath. Sulfur dioxide dissolves in cloud water, but turning it into strong sulfuric acid is sluggish without a helper. That's where nitrogen oxides step in. as catalysts. Nitrogen dioxide directly oxidizes sulfur dioxide, snatching one oxygen and giving it away. Sulfur trioxide is born, and with water it instantly becomes sulfuric acid. The NO2 becomes NO, but the story doesn't end there. Then ordinary oxygen regenerates NO2 from NO. The nitrogen dioxide is reborn, ready to oxidize another sulfur dioxide. A single NOx molecule can catalyze the formation of millions of sulfuric acid molecules. Acid rain isn't just a problem for nature. It eats away at limestone and marble buildings, slowly dissolving our cultural heritage. The sulfur and nitrogen acids turn solid stone into crumbling gypsum. Forests across the globe have suffered from acid rain. The soil turns acidic, releasing toxic aluminium that chokes tree roots. The nitrogen oxides we release circle back, with devastating finality. The widespread use of catalytic converters has dramatically cut nitrogen oxide emissions in many cities. It proves that understanding chemistry gives us the power to reverse some of the damage, but the ultimate fix may be to eliminate the high-temperature engine altogether. Electric vehicles produce no nitrogen oxides at the point of use, breaking the link between transport and air pollution. Precision farming uses technology to apply only the fertilizer that crops need, exactly when they need it. This drastically cuts the nitrate runoff that causes eutrophication, protecting our rivers. And for the nitrates that do escape, buffer zones of trees and wetlands can filter them out before they hit streams. Solutions exist, they just require chemical insight and collective will. So the nitrogen story is a grand loop, from the unbreakable triple bond through life-giving ammonia to polluting oxides and back to harmless gas. Understanding this cycle is your key to informed environmental citizenship. We've journeyed from the vault of the triple bond, through the basicity of ammonia, to the atmospheric dangers of NOx and the hope of catalytic cleanup. The chemistry of nitrogen shapes our world, now you see it. Consider this, you breathe in nitrogen with every breath. Yet it simply dissolves in your blood and leaves unchanged. The triple bond protects your cells from unwanted chemical chaos. What if nitrogen weren't so inert? Our atmosphere would be a corrosive, flammable nightmare. The triple bond stability is what makes Earth's gentle, life-sustaining air possible. Any ammonium salt, like ammonium sulfate, will release ammonia gas when warmed with a strong base. The telltale sign, moist red litmus turning blue. A simple test with profound chemical roots. Ever seen the ammonia fountain? Ammonia's extreme solubility in water creates a partial vacuum, pulling up a pink jet, a spectacular proof of its basicity and affinity for water. Recall that ammonium ion can also act as an acid, donating a proton to water. So the ammonia-ammonium pair is a perfect conjugate acid-base couple, swapping a proton back and forth. Ammonia isn't just for fields. It's used in refrigeration, makes nitric acid for explosives, and could one day fuel carbon-free ships. This simple molecule holds the key to a sustainable energy economy. Think of NO2 as a catalyst gangster. It roughs up sulfur dioxide, steals its oxygen, and then the air gives it a new oxygen to commit the same crime again and again. That's the catalytic cycle in the sky. Imagine a city with no combustion engines. The NOx levels plummet, photochemical smog vanishes, and the air becomes safe. It's not fantasy, it happened during lockdowns, showing us what's possible. In the lab, exposing plants to pan shows exactly how photochemical smog damages vegetation. Leaves develop bronze speckles and die. That same chemistry scars crops downwind of cities. Every nitrogen atom has a story. From an inert gas molecule, it becomes ammonia, then fertilizer, then protein in our food, maybe a pollutant, and eventually, bacteria return it to the air. A perfect circle. Think you've mastered the nitrogen cycle? Picture it as a board game where each transformation is a move. Can you guide a nitrogen atom from the air to a plant and back without hitting a pollution penalty?
We made it to the end!
From the aurora's glow to the green of a leaf, nitrogen's story is written across the cosmos and in every living cell. The same atom that paints the polar sky also builds your DNA. Understanding nitrogen isn't just for textbooks. Build the molecules with your own hands. When you construct the triple bond, you'll never forget why nitrogen is so stubborn. Learning by doing, from surgical anesthetics like nitrous oxide to the explosive power of nitroglycerin, nitrogen's compounds span the spectrum from healing to destruction, the same element endlessly reinvented. What if cities grew their own food using recycled nitrogen? In vertical farms, we can close the nitrogen loop completely, feeding plants without poisoning rivers. The future of fertilizer is circular. Solving nitrogen's puzzle means combining old-school farming wisdom with cutting-edge science. Together, we can keep the triple bond's power working for us, not against our planet. Satellites track nitrogen dioxide across the globe daily. You can see pollution patterns change with human activity. The data is public. Become a citizen scientist and watch the nitrogen cycle breathe. Quick fire round! See if you can answer faster than the clock. Triple bond energy, tetrahedral, platinum, pan, blue litmus? If you got them, you're a nitrogen master. We end where we began, gazing at the sky. But now you see not just air, but a delicate chemical ballet. You understand the triple bond, the base, the pollutant, and the solution. That's the power of chemistry. Thank you for joining this journey through the life of nitrogen. If you found the triple bond as fascinating as we do, subscribe and ring the bell for more stories hidden in plain air. Until next time, keep questioning the invisible.